Good afternoon. Joined today by LMPD Police Chief Paul Humphrey, by JCPS Superintendent Dr. Yearwood, and JCPS Police Chief Kessinger. I'm going to first turn it over to Chief Humphrey for an update on this case.
Again, as I said this morning, I'd like to reiterate that our hearts go out to the family of the young woman who was killed today. Our focus needs to be on the victim. It needs to be on making sure that we take care of these kids, make sure we take care of these families going forward. These are the types of tragedies that happen in our community that don't just go away. They don't end when the case is done. These families live with this forever, and we need to remember that and make sure that we hold them closely as we go forward. So I want to give you an update on the investigation. Earlier today at around 8 a.m., we had reports of shots being fired at the corner of 11th and Chestnut, where a woman was struck and killed. She was transported to University of Louisville Hospital, where she was pronounced deceased. We were able to speak with several witnesses at that time who provided us a name of a potential suspect, as well as video and description of a suspect. Jefferson County School Police, along with LMPD, were able to identify this potential suspect and take him into custody, where he was interviewed at the LMPD homicide offices. After that interview, we were able to determine he is not the suspect in this shooting. He has since been released and will be going home. That being said, we do have a description of a young black male dressed in a red hoodie and black sweatpants. We will be putting out still images as soon as possible. Just like in the shooting last week, we put out images and we called on the community for help, and very quickly we were able to identify and take into custody a shooter from that incident. That is exactly what we need today. When we put out these images, we are asking for the community's help in getting this person into custody and off the street. Obviously, this person presents a clear and definitive danger to the community, and we want to make sure that he is taken into custody as soon as possible and we can keep our family safe. Thank you.
Okay, Brian Yearwood, Superintendent of Schools. This morning, someone committed an unspeakable act of violence, taking the life of a woman at a bus stop, witnessed by innocent young children. This is not just a tragedy. This is not just a tragedy. It's an outrage. It's unacceptable. No one should be scared to stand at a bus stop. No one should worry that their child will be the next victim of gun violence. We must put an end to this. And we are looking at all options to prevent gun violence around our schools and at our bus stops. Nothing is off the table. We stand here with leaders of our city, our mayor, police chief, our school district, united in the condemnation of this unspeakable act of violence and in our unwavering commitment to protect our children. But let me be clear. I want to be very clear about this. This responsibility for keeping our kids safe does not fall on any single entity. It falls on all of us. This community crisis demands a community solution. We must work together during this time. Together, all of us, parents, schools, law enforcement, the city, to find solutions and be able to ensure that every resident has an opportunity to weigh in, because the future of our children, the safety of our children, is now relying upon this. To our parents, your role is paramount. Your role is key. We, the school system, can provide education, we can provide resources, we can provide support. But it is the home where the foundation of responsibility, accountability, and respect for life is built. Parents must be parents. This means active engagement, knowing where your children are, what are they doing, who are they with. It means teaching them the value of life, the consequences of their actions, and the importance of resolving conflict without violence. We cannot outsource the fundamental duties of raising children. We cannot outsource that. At JCPS, we're not just reacting to these strategies, but we are proactively building a robust ecosystem of safety and support. Our resources are comprehensive, designed to provide both proactive and reactive strategies to address the complex issue of youth violence, especially gun violence and community violence. We are deeply invested in the well-being and safety of every child. Every child. We have teams throughout the district today supporting students, families who are impacted by today's strategy. Our JCPS police officers have been assigned to our buildings, working with our LMPD or Louisville Police Department, been in great communication with our mayor, who's deeply troubled by this. We must come together. We must come together. The future of our children demands that we come together to solve this once and for all. We are not going to wait for another life to be lost. We will not wait. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yearwood. Chief Humphrey, thank you for the update. I share the sentiments of Dr. Yearwood. When I heard of this morning, and for every minute since, I've been heartbroken. Heartbroken for the family of the victim today. Heartbroken for the little girl who was holding the victim's hand. Heartbroken for all of the kids who were at the bus stop. Heartbroken for all of the other families around our entire city that are impacted by this shot and who are now scared. This one gunshot, like every gunshot, impacts so much more than the intended victim of that gunshot. It impacts families, it impacts neighborhoods, it impacts schools, it impacts our entire city. I'm also thankful. I'm thankful to our police at LMPD, JCPS Police Department, who work in close collaboration in times of tragedy just like this, just as they do every day, working hard to prevent violence in schools, outside of schools, in every corner of our community. And if and when a violent crime like this occurs, they respond immediately, without question, to take action to ensure others are safe in our city. I'm also thankful for my colleagues at the Office of Violence Prevention and the folks at Maryhurst who immediately got out to the Y this morning to help those who are witnesses to this heinous crime. Counselors, outreach workers, libraries employees, to help those who witness this, to help deal with the aftermath, the trauma of this gun violence. And I'm thankful to the YMCA that does so much on a daily basis for the youth in our community, to give them a safe place to learn, a safe place to play, a safe place to be enriched, to grow up. We are fortunate to have such a strong Y in our community, and we need more of them and more other organizations like that. And I'm also thankful for the folks at the bus stop, the people who at the bus stop that provided information to our police in connection with last week's shooting, with today. And that's what we need to see more of in our city. This collaboration, working together, the police department and the community. The police cannot make our city safe alone. We need our entire community's help, as Dr. Yearwood just said. By working together, we can and we will have a safer, a stronger community. That's how we've made progress so far. Violent crime this year is down 30%. But then incidents like today are a stark reminder of why we don't celebrate that progress, why we use that progress to just fuel us to do even more of what we're doing and to think of ways we can and we must do even more, because we cannot continue to have setbacks like we have had today. And my final emotion that I've had all day is I'm angry. I'm angry at the individual who killed this woman today. I'm angry at the two people who shot at the same bus stop last week. I'm angry that people still do this in 2025 in our city at bus stops, and that we keep having the same conversations over and over again as a city, as a state, that we keep hearing expressions of thoughts and prayers for victims. Friends, anger is not going to solve this, as angry as I am. I know that. We all know that. So let's think about what we can do. Where do we go from here? Because I firmly believe that every person in this city, a city with hundreds of thousands of good and loving and caring people, can and want to do more. So here are some thoughts on how we go forward, how everyone plays a role in making our city safer and preventing tragedies like from today from happening again. You can take ownership of your block, of your neighborhood, of your own home in so many ways. One is to share information. As you heard, it's been helpful to our police. It would be very helpful when the pictures are released later today to catch the individual who was responsible for this morning's murder. If you know somebody, a kid, who has access to guns, who has guns, who's hanging around with the wrong crowd, let somebody else know. It is going to be safer and better for that child. It's going to be safer for our entire community if we have that information before a tragedy like today happens, so that we can provide help to young people in our community that are on the wrong path. If your child has a gun or you think they have a gun, say something. If they're associating with the wrong crowd, say something. If you're a gun owner yourself, please keep your guns locked up at home, in the car. Be a responsible gun owner. To our legislators in Frankfurt, in Washington, D.C., you all have already passed laws that have helped make Louisville, make Kentucky safer. There is so much more that can be done. Please pass some laws that are focused on keeping guns out of the hands of young people, like today's situation we believe was. You can help us with universal background checks, maybe even waiting periods. I know firsthand what a waiting period would do. It would be incredibly helpful for our city. There is so much more you can do, but we cannot let kids in our community be carrying around illegal guns. That must stop, and we need help from our legislators. To our judges, hold those accountable who are committing these violent crimes. There are many ways to do that. Let's reopen our juvenile detention city right here in Louisville even quicker. And if none of those spoke to you, if you're still not sure how you can help, if you are an adult in our community, you can volunteer. There are great organizations like the YMCA, like the Boys and Girls Club, like Big Brothers Big Sisters that could use the help of more parents, of more adults from around the city that have great advice, that can be a great role model for kids who need guidance, who need support, who need someone to talk to because their lives are tough. So friends, there are so many ways that we can all work together to prevent this in the future. Our school should be the safest place in our city, and I want to thank Dr. Yearwood, Chief Kessinger, and all of your colleagues for the work that they have done over the past years to make our school safer. The same goes for all of our bus stops while you're on the bus in every other neighborhood in our city. Every neighborhood should be safe and should be a place where people feel safe. My administration and I have done a lot of collaboration over the past several years, working, LMPD and us, working together with other state and federal agencies, other nonprofit organizations, other local folks, community leaders. There clearly is more that we have to do. The Chief and I and our entire team stand ready to continue to collaborate, to continue to work hard every day so that this does not happen again in our city. Thank you all very much, and we're happy to take some questions from the media.
Chief, can you address what led you to the suspect who was arrested today, and is he connected to any previous incidents in the city?
Yeah, so the question was what led us to the suspect that we detained today, and is he connected to anything else going on? So we had eyewitnesses who identified this person by name as well as by description, and the description was very close to what was in the video and what he had been wearing, and that's how he ended up being identified. And he was in the area, but he was not a shooter. So as far as the photos, as of right now, the ones that I've seen were not the best. We do not have a clear picture of his face, what I've seen. I'm hoping that as they comb through the photos and the videos, they're able to get us better still shots, but we have full body images of this suspect both before and during the shooting.
Can you say anything else about the confrontation? Someone said that there was an argument before the shot was fired, making it appear that they knew each other.
So the question being about what led up to the confrontation, and I'm not certain on any of that right now, and that'll come out as part of the investigation. Yes, so the question was about police officers not being at that bus stop this morning the way they were every day before. And the officers made a decision today. Clearly, I wish they had been there. They made the decision based on the fact that that conflict last week, we had already had one of the people involved. We thought that that conflict was over with, but I definitely wish we had had officers out there this morning still.
So the question is about what are we going to do? We will continue to be vigilant. We will continue. Let me just also put this in perspective. There are about 40,000 bus stops, if you look at morning and afternoon bus routes in this community. So it is not practical to cover every bus stop with law enforcement. But we will continue to look for ways that we can collaborate more, to have more presence out and about during the times when buses are picking up and dropping off kids. We're going to continue to be in the community, working to get information about these crimes and working with young people after school to prevent crimes from happening in the future. One other thing that I did want to mention also that could be a big help is if you are a business owner, you can put cameras on the outside of your building. You can tie those into the real-time crime center so that LMPD has access to more information if things like this happen again, so that we have better photographic evidence of crimes that have happened. If you're a homeowner, you can do the same thing. You can get cameras too for your home and be willing to share that information. That is the best way to apprehend individuals that commit acts of crime like this. We will continue to double down and triple down on all of the work that we're doing. It's the work of our police department working in partnership with our administration that has made the progress we've made. Clearly, we need to make more. We'll continue to do that. We're implementing some new plans right now. For example, our Office of Violence Prevention just is completing a request for proposal for a new initiative called Get Busy, where we're going to be working with local nonprofit organizations to provide services to middle school students to help them get on the right path if they veered off course, if they need some more support and enrichment. So that's one of the things that we're really ready to roll out here in the coming days.
So the question was about LMPD leave. Ma'am, look, this. Finish your question.
Like you said, that LMPD made the decision to leave because they felt like because they got the suspect that it was over. At what time do LMPD have partnerships in the community to know that it was not over, that this is ongoing?
So who did it? If you know, who did it?
I'm asking you.
Okay.
Not
So
LMPD.
here's the thing.
Here's the thing,
ma'am.
What I'm going to
LMPD did not shoot this woman.
Did I ask
All right.
you that? That's not what I
So
said.
this is about a 15-year-old. This is about a 15-year-old.
Right? That
All right.
they felt like this was over. My question was.
We have any
you don't
questions
want
from the
to
media,
know
please?
me, And you keep rudely interrupting me. Then you wonder why I'm from the community. You should have no problem with my question or no problem with what I'm asking. So what I'm asking you is, what is LMPD going to do to have relationships in the community so they will know that that was not over, that they did not need to leave at that moment. So for you to get angry, that means you missed a step. And that's okay, because nobody's perfect. but never interrupt someone when they're speaking to you, because you can't reply if I'm still talking. Because that means you don't understand what I'm saying. So as again, LMPD left because they felt it was time. Who did you talk to in the community? Because if you go in the community right now, they will tell you that it's not over. It wasn't over that day. So I'm trying to figure out, what are you going to do as LMPD to come and really come in the community and not just come to police us, but to come and protect us. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, clearly you have a very valid point. There is a gap. There is a gap of communication both on the enforcement side and the pre-enforcement side. There's clearly a gap that we need to fill. And we need more ways to do that. What I can tell you is that if you just look in that area alone, that's part of our crime plan, and that SFI area, that sustained focus improvement. What's that?
I'm from
So that's part of our crime plan, and I think what you've probably seen is our proactivity just in that census tract has gone up 60%. Our arrest have not. Will you allow me to answer the question now, ma'am? So, but part of that is not just officers going out trying to lock people up. It is a sustained effort to make sure that we are asking people what their needs are, and we have fulfilled many needs. There is clearly more that we have to do. If we have one homicide, it's too many. If we have one bad relationship with police and the community, it's too many. So I am open to ideas about how we do that better.
So can I jump in? Can I jump in? Can I jump in? Yes. Yes. Very important question. Earlier on today, I'm new here, so I'm learning a lot, and we'll do more. Yes, our board member, Ms. Gail Strange, who's standing at the back, called a meeting about a week ago to begin the process of discussing that very same question, what can we do? And one of the things that came out is we have to engage with our community, because our community members know what's happening. And we have to be able to engage them in such a manner that we have that free conversation. Because we teach our students, you see something, say something. Now we have to engage with our community to continue to build those bridges, so that way we will know more. Like you're saying, if this is not over, we should be in that community, talking to community residents to find out, okay, how can we stop the violence? How can we protect each other? How can we take care of each other? So I think that is coming. Very valid. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Thank you all.